Hello listeners and fellow Game Pass fans, get yourself set and ready for your favourite unofficial Game Pass podcast, Game Pass News. So I'll hand you over to Nick and Sean and get the show started.
Welcome to Game Pass News, recorded live Wednesday, May 31st, the last day of May. I'm Nintendo. My co-host Sean Abbott and I are about to fill your brains with all this week's bits and bobs of Xbox. But first I got a joke for you. The last dad joke of this contest. What's the most edible number, Sean? Do you know?
No.
Good idea to not say whatever you were thinking, probably. 3.14, of course, the pie. It's 3.14. Sit down, buckle up, because Game Pass News is always a crazy ride.
Let's look at the funk.
Oh, Sean, how has your week been, sir?
The kids are off this week. It's the May half term, so it's the last break they get before the big summer holidays here in the UK. So they're off for the week, which also means Lindsay's off for the week. She's in transition of jobs at the moment, so she's finished at college. She starts at the high school next Monday. So I have made the joke about how she is now unemployed, but it's only for a week. But yeah, we're doing good. We've been blessed with some good weather, so I've tackled the garden, completely stripped that back, tidied it all up so everybody can get out there and enjoy it. Even tidied up the barbecue and sorted that out, so we had a bit of a barbecue the other night.
Nice.
So yeah, other than that's good. It's a bit warm in the green machine. That's sprung a nasty surprise on me. So
yeah, that's a bummer. No AC.
I'm sourcing parts, so but it's like this year is the year that we're being told that we're going to get record-breaking highs on top of the record-breaking highs for the temperatures that we got last year. So it'd be something that I'd like to have got done this year, but I can't see it happening. So
I get you. AC's out. Yeah, over here it's 88 degrees. Which is really warm for us around here this time. Yeah, I don't know. Don't ask me, Sean. Get out the fancy thing and do the math, whatever that is. So yeah, it's warm over here. So are you mechanic enough to do your own AC parts? Like, can you put the?
Yes and no. I spent a long time working under cars when I used to do the bit of like road rallying and stuff that we used to do. So I used to spend a lot of time under, and I kind of vowed that once I'd finished that, I was not going to be doing on the driveway kind of fixes. So I mean, whoever's, I don't know if the car's had any damage previous before I bought it. That's what the guy thinks at the garage that I took it to, just around the corner from me. He was like, it looks like it's took some front end damage, but there's nothing. Like when I did a background check on the car, there was nothing. Nobody's ever gone through the insurance. It's never been categorized as anything. So, so I don't know. But he says literally there's a pipe missing. There's they've twisted another pipe around to make it look like there's two into the compressor, which is really quite helpful. So looking at it, it's probably going to need a new condensing unit because that'll have been free of gas and dry and empty. So that'll be absolutely foobar. And potentially, if the compressor's been running without any coolant or anything going through it, that'll also be foobar. So I don't know. I'm going to take it back to the manufacturer and let them have a look at it and let them give me a price, because I'd rather, when it comes to stuff like this, I'd rather have it done by somebody that's going to give me a decent length of warranty. So
I get you. Yeah. I only asked Sean because I am not the guy. I'm not a mechanic. I don't get it. I could get it. I just don't want to spend the time to get it. So like, here's what just recently happened this week to me. I needed new blades on my lawnmower. F me, Sean. Like, I'm trying to just replace one frickin' bolt. and I flipped the thing over on its side. Y'all probably like, you idiot. We already know what you did. And so I flipped it over on its side. I'm like taking the bolt out. It's stuck. I'm having trouble. I'm like greasing the bolt, trying to figure it out. And I look under, and I had flipped it the wrong way. So there's now a like puddle of oil at the bottom of the thing, and I'm like, I have no idea what that just did to the mower. It's probably dead. And this is a walking mower, okay, so it's not like a ride or anything like that. And so finally, like, I snap the bolt to get it off, and then I have to try to find a way to get the bolt off and find a new bolt and get the blades, flip it over, like clean the stuff. I Google it, and the guy on YouTube says, well, if you've done this, there's a multiplicity of things that could happen. One, worst case scenario, I was thinking he was going to say, like, it just doesn't work. He's like, it could catch fire. And I'm like, oh, great. That's fantastic. He's like, 2, it might not work, or 3, it might be okay. Luckily, after I cleaned the carburetor a bit and put it back together, I look like a choo-choo train for like 5 minutes, because apparently it's burning off the oil, so it has all this smoke flying out. So I'm like, I've probably lost like a year off my life in lung capacity. But I'm like just mowing with it, and it's like, it looks like a train going as I'm like walking in the yard. I'm sure his neighbors are like, that guy's an idiot. But anyways, that's my story.
They're either thinking that guy's an idiot or he's some kind of steampunk legend and he's built his own like manhandled his own lawnmower into some kind of machine.
I'm like ultra handing my own mower over here, putting it together. That'd be great, man. That's what I need to be able to do.
I'm mechanically minded enough that we took an engine out of one car and kind of ground bits and pieces off to stick it in another car, and then take one half of the wiring loom from the car we took the engine from and work out how it all attached to the current wiring loom in the car. So I'm inept into doing that, but I don't like doing stuff that like I know then the kids are going to be in it and stuff. So it's kind of like I like to have a safety net that I can turn around and blame somebody else.
That's
really.
fair. That's fair. I get that.
So
yeah.
But yeah, other than that, it's been good. We're off to a wildlife park tomorrow to kind of entertain the kids for a day. So it's a day that we kind of. But yeah, and you're away. That's it. After this, you literally go to sleep, force yourself to sleep with all the excitement of setting sail on the old SS GPN, and go away.
Yes, you are right. We are. We're going to be on a cruise to Bermuda. Ironically, we're going somewhere that at the moment will be cooler than it is right here. Right now in Bermuda, it's like 70 degrees. Here in Michigan, it's like 88. So that's pretty ironic. But very, very excited. I will say, I told you this, Sean, post show. I can understand how you can lose a kid doing this whole thing. Like I only have 2. We've never like packed to go on a plane, and that's a different beast, man. If I had 10 kids or however many kids they have at home alone, I probably would leave one accidentally too. Maybe accidentally, maybe on purpose. Who knows? But it's like, yeah, a little just crazy. I'm glad I only have 2. Couldn't do it any other way. So, but the kids are excited. We're excited. The kids are like out of school 5 days before, or 3, 4, I don't know, something like that. Earlier than all their classmates. They still have like another 3 or 4 days left. So they think they're super cool that they get to do that. So yeah, we're excited. We'll be gone, but we'll be back. Be back in time for the showcase and all the fun stuff. And so you guys it'll be like I never left, guys. Don't worry. So yeah. All right, are we ready to give away some money?
I believe so. I'm excited for this. I'm excited to see how this goes because this list is huge. So
you guys are awesome, by the way. So many people. And Sean, I'm excited for this too, to see that if this works correctly and you see what I have here. And every time is new.
We had 73 entries. Entrants, sorry. With various different entries. So, yep.
Okay, so I am going to share my screen with you so you can see. Sean has the list. I have the magic controls to run the stuff. We're just going to do this right on this random.org thing right here. So, can you see that, Sean?
I can. It's currently saying number 82. So.
Yeah, that's just... There it is, folks. This is brand new music just for you. So I hope you What's going on? Why am I not seeing the right thing? Sorry, guys. We're working on the fly here. There we go. This is me hot swapping stuff while you're watching the magic. You see how the sausage is made. Okay, here we go. So guys, there are how many of you all together? There are 4 of you on the chat right now. Somebody give me a number. How many times should I click the number generator before we get to the right number? 1, 2, 3. No more than 5. Okay, I can only click this thing so many times. So you guys, I'll wait a few seconds for somebody to give me a number. If nobody gives me a number, Sean gets to choose. So here we go.
Yay.
Yep. Waiting. 10.
Bruce is 10.
4. All right.
Oh, there we go.
and Tyler wins. 4 it is. Bruce broke the rules. Okay, ready. What? That is not what was supposed to happen. It just blew up. All right.
Oh, broke.
Okay, here we go. Let's try again. 1, 2, 3. Here's the winner. 14. Who's 14, Sean?
Who's 14? Let me get the list because I was watching that as well. Who's 14 is Tyler, Mr. Acid TKO.
Oh my gosh! How crazy is that? He picks the number and wins. Listen, there is no behind the scenes here, folks. Tyler has no idea what numbers he is. He has no control over this little random generator. Okay, I promise, buddy. You just got yourself 3 months. I will try to get that done tonight before I leave for a week. So awesome, man! Congrats to you. And I will send us back to our normal podcast. That is hilarious. Okay, we are back. 3 months. Let's see. 3 months. Does that so like 6 9? No, it'll be if he waits, it'll get him if he waits like a month, he'll be in time for Starfield, or it's still active in Starfield. But who knows? What we will say, guys, we will be announcing another contest on the podcast next time we podcast, which is actually not going to be our normal time because we are waiting until the showcase. So we're going to be live for the showcase, live for Starfield, and then we're going to do a podcast. It's going to be like, I don't know how many hours that's going to be of streaming, but it's going to be a lot. So come and join us, have some fun. We're inviting the Nintendo Dad family of podcasts to hop in and out too. So who knows who might jump in and jump out as they see fit. So just have a good old time. Bring some popcorn, and hopefully Microsoft shows up with some games too. We'll have to see. So
fingers crossed. Fingers
yeah,
crossed.
Exactly. Anything else before we go into our X feed?
Oh, let's go.
Holy macaroni. Hey, how good are you at word cross puzzles, Sean? Better than me, hopefully?
Yeah, but I think that image doesn't really spare too much.
Yeah, so Xbox releases this image, which I looked at and I was like, I don't see anything but 3 X's. God bless the internet, because somebody figured it out. So it actually says Psycho, and then there's 3 X's. So of course everybody says, Psychonauts 3 is coming! Do you think Psychonauts 3 is coming?
It makes perfect sense. Psychonauts was a huge game on the original, it was on the first Xbox, wasn't it? Yeah, it was one of the original ones. So it was a huge game on there. It had a huge following, and it went quiet for a very long time. And then we got the release of Psychonauts 2, which was 2021, I believe. You really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I did.
I played enough to realize that it was a little bit too much for me, and other stuff was coming out at the same time. It was a good game, just wasn't there for me to catch my attention, but everybody's different. So it makes sense for them to kind of roll off the back of the hype of the second one coming out in 2021 and drop us something that's going to possibly come in 2024 and showcase Psychonauts 3. So yeah, I can see this happening. We
Yeah.
could see the return of Raz.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. So 2005 is when the first one dropped, and then the second one, like you said, 2021. I This is certainly a quick turnaround for Double Fine Studios to come out with a 3 already. So that makes me wonder. I would imagine to do that, you'd have to be using some of the same assets. Maybe it's in the some of the same locales or something like that. But man, I loved it. I will say it's a game that I had to find my way with. So I started playing it, and I actually put it down for like 2 or 3 months because I was like, I don't know if this is for me. And then I picked it back up in a lull because there was a lot of those in last year, and sure enough, it just kind of it clicked with me finally. One of those games I was like, okay, I get it, and yeah, and I loved it. I didn't like 100% it or anything, but I definitely went through the entire story and beat it that way. Some of the music you hear in our well, actually, the contest music you just heard was music
To say
from
that was
Psychonauts 2. Yeah, so ironically, so yeah, it's got great music, hilarious writing, just a lot of fun. So I hope it is true.
Yeah, the platforming aspect of it was great. I think the bit that bared on me was in the hospital scenario. It became very repetitive really quick, and I felt like I was doing like the same thing over and over again to get no further in the game than I was an hour before I even started doing the process. So that's kind of like where it turned me off. But the platforming was great. The collectibles in it were fantastic.
Yeah.
Like you said, the writing style was hilarious. The art style was great. Very quirky in places. So I can see a third one being well welcomed.
For sure. Do we have on here? We do not. So there was another teaser. Microsoft's just dropping these teasers like crazy. Glitter on a controller, and it goes to he like walks upstairs, and he gets upstairs, and then he sees it goes to the Microsoft showcase. But the music that's being played in the background is the original Fable music and the glitter, and so people are thinking that there's going to be something about Fable. I don't know. You think that Fable news is hopping on?
Yeah, they need to do something this big.
Yeah,
Definitely
I agree.
need to do something as big as this because they've with the issue they've had with Redfall and the constant teasing of Fable.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that Turn 10 Studios are now working on it and they are known for delivering really good games, there needs to be something coming soon. There needs to be like a playable. I say a playable demo. I enjoy a playable demo for a game because I like to be able to get a feel for what this might be. Resident Evil does like the guys Capcom with Resident Evil do it really well. They give you a little teaser and a playable demo and get you in there. Nintendo do it with certain games as well, which is good because it kind of gets you. It just wets the whistle enough for you to be like, okay, yeah, I can see where they're going with this. I'm going to really enjoy it. Or also, it's like a nice little bit of a testing for them. They can kind of see what people do and don't like in the demo, so they can tweak the game. So
Yeah. So
yeah, I can see something coming.
Yeah.
I don't know what, and I don't know if it's gonna be a gameplay teaser that we see for late 2024, or if it's gonna be, hey, we've finished the game and it's ready to go. Like,
it's still my heart,
year.
man. Don't do that to me. I can't. I know. I don't think it's this year. I as much as I'd love for it to be this year, as long as it's good. I will wait a year. I will wait 2 years if whatever it's got to be good. I mean, if they can do something. Okay, I know I'm dreaming here. Okay, but if they could do something like Zelda quality, I will wait. I will wait. That's what I'm gonna say right now. I mean, that is their Zelda, and they need to bring it out with that kind of quality. Nothing less can they show with Fable. And so sure, I think the earliest that they're going to announce this coming out would be late 2024. It'd be like a holiday 2024 title or something like that. But I'm down for it, and I'm down to see a little bit more. I mean, I think the only thing we have seen is the initial Xbox showcase when they announced the actual console with the fairy flying around that gets squished. I don't think we've seen anything else. So I'm down to see something more. I'm also not going to be huffed if it's, late 2024 or something like that. Or even worse, I don't know if it's even worse. Or if there's nothing at all. Maybe they give you a little bit more of what they're thinking about doing with it, and they don't even give you a year. I would rather, if they're not sure that they can hit 2024, I would rather that, to be honest. I would rather them just come out and say, hey, here's a little bit more of what we're thinking about. We're moving it forward. It's looking good. But, there you go. It's all you're getting. I'm not going to give you a date because we don't know. Don't give me November 2024 and then push it to November 2025.
Yeah, that's the issue they're going to have now is everybody's going to be looking at games and thinking, okay, how excited can I get for this game? How excited can I get for this game? And be what's the word I'm looking for? And be fully engaged and appreciative of how the final product comes out. Because I was super excited for Redfall, and then all that came out with Redfall, in terms of, it wasn't going to be 30 frames a second. It was going to be this. It wasn't going to be other. And I quickly kind of got turned off. I was wrong to do that because I really enjoyed the game. But they've got to tread carefully when it comes to that.
Yeah, very excited to see what they do there. So those are the two teasers that Microsoft has given. They are obviously very excited about this. They are, we always say manage, or I don't always say this. The dads always say manage your hype. The internet's not very good at managing their hype, and they are not even trying to get the internet to manage their hype. They are just throwing coal on the hype train, trying to get that thing flying off the tracks. So hopefully they can keep up with the hype that they're creating. Next one of our top stories, Sean, we broke the achievements. Microsoft was like, listen, that achievement hunter thing, they broke us. We got to fix it. So Microsoft came out today, or not today, but recently, and added 3 new rules. You huffed. Do you have something to say about this?
This has been a long time coming.
Yeah.
Like, this should have been something that was implemented back when the 360 was just in its infancy, because I know people that were like racking up Gamerscore like crazy back then. So it didn't surprise me that when we were running the Achievement Hunters contest that people were racking up scores that they were. Like, I thought that it had died a death, the whole achievement like Gamerscore thing. I thought that had gone, but evidently it was still quite a big thing. But yeah, these rules, these 3 rules as well, because they're 3 very good rules, should have been implemented a long time ago for me. They make sense to have there because it stops the scalping. So
yeah. So the rules are, they want to avoid the following: all achievements can be unlocked within a few minutes of starting the game. That's fair. Avoid achievements that do not represent a thorough exploration of or engagement with game content, and avoid achievements that can be unlocked without or minimal user input unless required as part of the core gameplay loop. So yeah, I think those are fair. They're not hamstringing any of their developers here. They're just trying to get rid of some simple things.
And the way I read into that last rule is to avoid achievements that can be unlocked without any or minimal user input unless required as part of the core gameplay loop. That to me says that obviously there's games out there that require you to not move for 5 minutes to unlock an achievement. So that covers that basis. But yeah, they've any games that now however, as noted in the report, we've already seen some games released on the Xbox Store since May 1st that appear to break the first rule. So I don't know how they're implementing this or how strict they're being with this as games come out, but apparently there's still games coming out as of May the 1st that appear to have broken the first rule.
Well, this could just be a simple thing like, they come out with these rules. It's not fair because these games have been in development for a while. So it could be a thing of them saying, these are the new rules from here forward, if you want a game, we're going to review it. They have to fall under these new rules. So those games that have already been approved with a thumbs up, yeah, it makes sense for them. And I don't know if this is the case, but it would make sense for them to say, yeah, you guys, you were before the new rules, so come on in.
Yeah. Like I said, this is a rule that should have come a long time ago. It should have been more managed than it has been. I mean, we only really noticed the damage that it can do to not have something like this when we did the achievement. It didn't bother us until, or we didn't notice until that was happening. So, but
well, yeah, because we're not achievement hunters, right? Like we just don't we're just not. I mean, I play games and I get achievements, and I'm happy with that. But I don't like search games that give me achievement points. That's not how I play. But yeah, so when we're doing achievement hunters, we're like, hey, how about 5 scores every entry, 5 scores, and all of a sudden you're like, hey Nick, somebody's got 25,000, and I was like, no. How many do they really got? No, really. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. It blew my mind, man. I was like,
so yeah, it's yeah. I mean, it now looks at how can we go, like, do we wait 12 months before we maybe look at resurrecting achievement hunters as it was, because then this is going to be a fair bet that people won't be able to go back and play those games. So, but we shall see.
That's a good question, though, Sean. Will they be able? So, are they going to make games change their achievement system, from the past, or is this only for games moving forward? And so, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I agree. We'll kind of let the dust settle here a little bit and see what shakes out. So those are the achievement rules. News bulletins real quick here, just for you Minecrafters. We got Trails and Tales update June 7th. You can tell your stories and do your fun stuff. Hold on, no, I actually have something. I just here, I'm getting to it. Hold on. Here it is.
So
oh, you got there right as I go for it.
Yeah, so get ready to bring your stories to life, whether you're hatching a sniffer, exploring Cherry Grove, trimming your armor, or much more. Mark your calendars and start planning. So 7th of June brings these updates, basically, to version 1.20. Cherry Grove biome, so it adds a whole new biome, which obviously brings bamboo and cherry wood sets. We get camels, sniffers as mobs, torchflower plants, archaeology. So there's going to be suspicious sands and suspicious gravels for you to explore and find things. There's new armor trims, new hanging signs, playable mob sounds, and a chiseled bookshelf, which I'm assuming comes from the archaeology side of things. So I like Minecraft for adding these new little things. It kind of keeps people well engaged.
I want a chiseled Steve. That's what I want. Give me a chiseled Steve. I want to see what that looks like. It's like a ripped Steve. That's what I want to see.
You want to see what Steve looks like with no shirt on.
That's right. Give me a 6-pack Steve. That's what I want to see.
I want to see the best 8-bit 6-pack you can have.
That's right. I'm down for that. News bulletin: more Double Fine games coming for Game Pass. We already know of one that we'll talk about, stacking, which I have never played, but it seems very odd about dolls and about Russian dolls and such. But we'll get there. But this also could be alluding to what we already talked about. Double Fine is Psychonauts, and so maybe stacking's not the last game to be coming to Game Pass here soon. So we shall see. Next bulletin: 2 months free for Walmart Plus members, but big caveat, new accounts only. This one gets people all the time. They get all hyped and excited. They go to put their code in. They've been a Game Pass member or are a Game Pass member, and all of a sudden it's like, so for all I gotta say, Xbox, this sucks. Okay, you need to ditch this. I get it on some of them, but on some deals, just let people have an extra month. I mean, really,
yeah. I mean, it's good if you want to kind of. You've got the summer holidays. I'm assuming you guys have the similar summer holiday period as we do, where the kids break up for a period of time over the summer.
Yeah, 2 months. We have way longer than you, right? Because you have it broke out throughout the year,
right? Yeah, we kind of their summer holidays is 6 weeks or 7 weeks this year. I can't remember.
So. Oh, yours is still really long. Yours is still pretty long, longer than I thought you were going to say.
So I don't know. This is good if you're a parent. So all the parents that do listen to this, if you want your kids to kind of get into Game Pass and have,
That's true.
don't have to go and buy one big game for them to play in the summer, like
Daggum.
on an evening and stuff, or if the weather turns bad, or when they're just being outside too much in the sun, go get them 2-3 months of Game Pass. They'll be able to play a plethora of games. And really enjoy it and see what they think. They might find some new genres that they like, which could spring on to taking them in different directions for games. Could pull them away from Fortnite because and other games like that, the PvP style games, which like me as a parent, I'm not super excited for Logan getting into that because I know once he gets into things like Fortnite, it's going to be a pain in the butt. So.
Yeah, Bruce is saying he does not have that in Canada, so I'm sorry if you don't have it. I didn't look to see where the regions were and all that stuff, so I'm not sure what regions it covers.
We don't have it in the UK either, so
well, there you go. I'm just I'm from the U.S. We have no consideration for the rest of the world. We're just like, sure, this exists. It exists for us, and we don't care about the rest of you. Very sorry. Feature story, man. Why don't you roll in our feature story for us?
So I like we use pure Xbox. There'll be like we'll never lie and say, oh, these news things we pull up and we think of them all the time. Some of them we do, some of them we don't. But pure Xbox, a fantastic website to use for news and things like that. I absolutely love it. So much so that I'm actually subscribed to it now. So I get the newsletter and stuff like that. They dropped a really good talking. They've actually dropped 2 really good talking points, but I picked this one. What dream reveal would you like to see at the Xbox Game Showcase in 2023? I did then add a caveat to this question to you, Nick, because it said that it mentioned the teaser trailer for Fable, but you've already mentioned that, so you can't say that one.
Oh, man. So for me, I would really love to see them do one of 2 things. And this is gonna seem kind of lame, but I would love to see some type of Banjo. We talked about this last week, but a Banjo-Kazooie 3, because I love that title. I love what they do there. I think they could use more side-scrolling platformer type stuff, or even a 3D world platformer. So I'd love to see them go back and start to look at that. I also would love to see a brand new IP from them. Something new, something not shooter based, at least not like first person shooter. They have quite a bit of those. Something that kind of stretches their catalog of games. And I don't care what that would be, but I would find that very interesting. So I guess those are my 2. Not like the most exciting in the world. Fable's my real thing. Like if you really want, you took it from me, but if you really want to know what will make me leave my seat Sunday, June 11th, it will like what would make me just blow my mind if they were like, hey, Fable's done, guys. You playing in November, and then we have to fast forward, and it's actually a good game. So that would like make me leave my seat. Like definitely.
So you stole the Banjo and Kazooie thing. I literally have like an idea that I would love to see them do because I think this would be great. And I think any remastered game should do this, especially with like a Zelda or things like that go back and remaster into something. So like Link's Awakening, you start the game playing it in the original graphics, and part of the intro to the game takes you through some kind of weird and wonderful portal. And Banjo, because you can do it with the comedy aspect of Banjo and Kazooie, they then make a joke about the fact that they look more well rendered. And like,
I love it.
And like they make fun of the witch's warts on her nose because they look more defined in next gen graphics. They should do something like that. Rare, listen, come on. And if you take it, I want some kind of royalties from this. But yeah, that'd be great. For me, I want a new Doom. If they dropped like the return of the Doomslayer in any way, literally, if he just appeared, I will. That's the like me throwing stuff around and going whoopee. But
Nice. Yeah. So Bruce is saying he wants a Battlefront style Star Wars game. Tyler saying he waits every year for Banjo. Um, I also would like to see the Contraband be like an Uncharted style game. So that's kind of like something like that, right? Like I mean, this game that we don't really know anything about, but this rando like cinematic trailer. I love to see that fleshed out in this showcase and to see that be something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think we have a I don't want to say we have a good idea. I think we have a decent idea of what we're gonna get. At least some stuff. I mean, if we don't see Fable, then whatever Microsoft was trying to tease, they really effed it up. Like and if they think it's funny, trust me, the fans will tell them that it's not funny. Like don't tease Fable. Don't tease something that is that close to Fable and then not show Fable. Like that is not a good look.
We haven't mentioned the Sony showcase, and I'm not going to go into that in great detail because we haven't got time this evening because I know we don't want to go too long because you need to get some sleep before you go away tomorrow. And B, I haven't watched it all yet. I kind of like have dipped in and out at different trailers, but I'm absolutely certain we're going to see Alan Wake 2 showcased and day one release with Game Pass. That's an absolute given. It's all over Phil's shelf. So I think he's going to be a massive driver behind that. I can't remember the other titles that were mentioned, but I'm certain we're going to see Stray. That's going to come across from Sony.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's probably true.
What else? Let me just quickly Sony showcase images. Must be something.
I think
in here.
while you're searching that, I think I'm at a point. This is difficult for me because I think I'm at a point to where it's like, well, listen, I know kind of what you got for the next 2 years. Like you're probably going to throw in some Hi-Fi Rush surprises for me. That's great. I'll love those and that'll be fun. But what I really just want, my dream reveal is to get these games revealed. I mean, maybe they're 2 years out still. To get these games revealed and then to actually have them come out as very high quality titles. That's really what I want. That's my dream reveal. That's kind of where we're at with me and Xbox right now. Like somebody said, I was kind of carrying Sony's water on our channel because people were saying it wasn't a great showcase for them or blah blah. And I was like, well, listen, man, like let's just hold off. I'm just kind of not. I'm kind of at this point with Xbox. I'm like, you gotta, for me personally, the guy that runs an Xbox podcast, you gotta show me something to keep me here at this point. So come on, bring it on. So that's my dream reveal. Something good.
Tyler in the chat has just dropped something, and this kind of like, I like Gears of War, but their gameplay became very repetitive. Run, hide, duck, shoot, duck, shoot, run. So Gears of War, first person, Doom style gameplay. Stick them together and fucking throw it out there. Yes, that'd be hilarious. Imagine taking on the giant, like the monsters with the rifle with the chainsaw blade. Oh, first person, all running around like Doom. That'd be crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I am here to watch you play that.
Yeah, we all know Nick doesn't like those kind of games.
No, actually, I do like the pop and shoot of Gears of War. Pop and find cover and then take your shots and then find more cover. I actually don't mind that, but I do agree that after a while it was kind of like, okay, yep, we know what we're gonna be doing here. But I would love a mix. Is what actually, if I were to say something that I may play, Doom does that for me too. And I know this is probably like, I don't know, heresy, but Doom has Doom is repetitive too in the opposite sense, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna get this gun, I'm gonna run around, I'm gonna shoot stuff in the face, and try not to get shot in the face. That's what I'm gonna try to do. So like, let's merge those two styles together with Gears this time. Like, let's have some where maybe your weapons are such where you're undercover and you got to pop, and then you get some, you know, you get the BFG gun and you can just go crazy for like a level, right? Like I think if you could kind of flip flop back and forth, and then there's no repetitiveness, then you get to do a little bit of both.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I liked, especially the 2016 Doom, is the soundtrack. If you give, I haven't yet come across a game that marries a soundtrack as well scripted by Mick Gordon, which I know there was a lot behind that, but as well scripted as that soundtrack to that game, it just they see ID Software and Bethesda seem to have hit that perfectly. So if you come at me with a game like that with a soundtrack that works perfectly to the game, I mean, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom kind of hits the nail on the head with that, because there's so many changes in the background music that are so subtle that sometimes it's very difficult to notice, but it works well. But when it came to Mick Gordon's heavy metal thrash mixed with Doom 2016's fast-paced action gameplay, but then the dips and lows in the soundtrack matched the dips and lows in the pace of the gameplay, that sells me. If you can give me a full immersive experience, that when I've got my headphones on, the stuff that's going on the screen, but the sound that's coming into my headset at the same time, if you can marry that up perfectly and really immerse me in a game without having to be VR and so on and so forth, if you can do that and do it well, I'm sold. So if they can drop something in the showcase that does that and kind of shows that it can give you that level of immersion, then I'm in. I don't care what kind of game. Like, you could give me Animal Crossing with well, Animal Crossing did it. And Nintendo went and did it. We played that game solid for nearly 2 years, because the gameplay was engaging. The sound and the music was always beautiful and well placed for the time of day in the game. So it drew me in, and those two things marry it really well. If you can give me engaging gameplay and well scripted and written sounds, then it's great. Because the first thing I usually do with a game is, and I did it with Cassette Beasts, which we'll talk about later, is I had to turn the music down. The music was too overpowering for the game, and it was very, as beautiful as the sound is in that, the music is in that game. I've had to turn it down because it was too overpowering. So if you can,
you do say that a lot, or not a lot, but yeah, you do. I don't ever really say that, but I have heard you say, no, that music's too loud in that game.
Yeah, I'll turn it down. Like, literally, the first thing I do in most games is I go straight into the settings and turn the music volume down to 25%, because I know that it will piss me off eventually. So, yeah.
We don't have anything for Game Pass past the 13th. Now, I have learned, I get smarter as the time goes on. Well, we have stuff past the 13th, but not in June. Last year, we really thought, man, we were going to get this cool slate of stuff in right after the showcase, and we did not. Like, we didn't get anything. So I have learned to temper my expectations that Game Pass is going to drop all this cool stuff that's going to fill up the Game Pass calendar for the rest of June or into July. But it would be cool if it did. It would be cool if it was like, boom, show something, and then, this is out today, and that's out next week, and this is on Game Pass right now, and it would just be like, that would be great. That would be really cool. I love out todays.
Nintendo style, because that's what they do. Yeah, they do, like, as of the end of this showcase, you can download that now. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The very last talking point that I've seen on Pure Xbox is this one, and it was asking the question of what you're going to be doing for the June 2011 showcase. And obviously, we're going to be watching it live, and I expect everybody that's in the chat and listen to this and watching it to also be joining us as we watch it live. June 11th, from start to finish, rolling straight into how we feel about it, the podcast afterwards. So,
my butt's going to be molded to this seat by the time it's done. Let's do it. I'm down.
Yeah, I'm going to have to find a comfier place to sit than on the living room floor.
I would imagine so. You're gonna have to get Lindsay to pick you up if not. Legs be just like
I cannot feel my legs.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that is our feature story. Let's roll on into the Game Pass headlines. All right, so I went on like a gameplay streak today. So I'm going to actually talk about the gameplays that I did in our headlines, probably not in what I've been playing. That way we won't double dip. So Railway Empire 2 came out on games that are out since last episode, by the way. Sorry. May 25th, Railway Empire 2 came out. I played that game for about an hour. And let me tell you, if you like the businessy logistic sims, or you like trains, because this is not just like you can put an engine on it. No, this is like, hey, there's this engine that was created in the UK and it pulls 5 tons, and it was they made it in 1934, and I mean, it's very specific. It's legit information about real life trains. And this I don't know if you could play it as a soft, just like I'm just having fun, but this is a legit like logistic business type thing. Like looking at cities. Like I made a rail line from Boston to Albany. That was the first one I had to do, and you have to look at what goods are coming from which city, and how do you what's going to make you the most money, and what cars do you need to add to your engines. And it is not a simple like roller coaster tycoon type thing. Like, I mean, it's got a lot of numbers that it's playing around with. But then also, if you're a train guy, it's got all the train stuff. You can watch the train, you can like zoom in on it and watch it do your route, and you can kind of go around it and see it. They say that they're accurately created to what they looked like at that time. So if either one of those, if you love logistics, if you love trains, but then the sweet spot, like you got your game for the rest of your life, is if they're both together. And this game's good. I'm not. Am I going to continue to play it? No, because I got too many other things on the back burner. But it is a legit game. It's about 20 gigs to download. And there's a lot of campaigns. There's a sandbox mode if you want to do that. And so yeah.
Wow, it sounds very deep.
Yeah, it is. I was like blown away when I was like, oh, okay. I did not. Yeah, I was just trying to. I was just like, they make this railroad, so I like ran it right across the mountain. They're like, no, you can't do that. They're like, you haven't researched tunnels enough to know how to make a tunnel that long. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, sure, I'll do it a different way then. And that is part of it. Like, how can you get to where you need to get, laying the least amount of track, so that you get things done quicker and cost less money. And so, yeah, there's a definite lot to it. But if you like those things, then that's something you should look into.
Brilliant. The other game that has dropped since our last episode, which dropped May 25th as well, is Massive Chalice. And I had to make sure I say that correctly, because what I have written is not Massive Chalice. In Massive Chalice, a player takes role of a mortal ruler of Finland Kingdom, and I'm going to read this a little bit verbatim because I haven't played it. So it's called the nation from invasion by an evil force known as the Cadence, whose very touch is deadly to most humans who leave magical corruption in their wake. The player is aided by their titular massive chalice, a magical artifact whose 2 personalities advise the player. The chalice can banish the cadence, but will take 300 years to build up the magical energy to do so. So the game kind of switches modes. You can either sit back and watch things as a strategy time-based game, where you make long-term decisions and you watch the years roll by, because obviously 300 years is going to take a long time for you to play in a game. And then there's the tactical side of it, in which you can take control of teams and heroes in turn-based battles against the Cadence forces. So you can get right in there, you can fight with the enemy, kind of thing. The player, you can decide which tasks the chalice will spend its amount of energy on, but you also have to deal with problems that arise in the kingdom's population. So I'm not entirely certain what they are. Again, I'm only reading this because I haven't had a chance to play it.
Yeah, and this is the first of the Double Fine games too that was released.
It is. Well, it's not one of the. It's the first one that came to Game Pass.
Yeah, sorry, yeah,
The
my bad.
original game that came out, the first game that came out with Double Fine was a Kickstarter campaign, which was known as Broken Age, formerly known as Double Fine Adventure back in 2012. This game was released June 1st, 2015. I mean, it is kind of like a top-down style RPG turn-based sim. It looks a little bit rough, but it was well received. 90% of people that played it have really enjoyed it. So if you're a big medieval kind of turn-based fan, this could be something for you to try. Again, I don't know how it's going to play on a console. Things like this, games like this, to me, don't usually play very well on a console. So,
I'll be talking about that in just a little bit.
yep. The other game that dropped May 25th was Cassette Beasts. This is for me, this is a great game. It's very. I'm going to talk about. Oh, do you want me? Shall I wait and talk about it in the what I've been playing because it's a bit more time. No, we'll do what you. So I played about an hour of this. It is, if you can imagine, like, I don't know, what was the first color Pokemon? Was it yellow and red and green, wasn't it? So
I have no idea.
if you can imagine those style of graphics where it's a bit side scrolly, 16-bit style little person that bobs along, you can choose your name, you can choose your outfit, you can change the colors of your hair and your outfit, and you've washed up in this distant town that isn't on Earth, as it alludes to. And you meet somebody called Kaylee. She kind of introduces you into what being a cassette beast is all about. So rather than in Pokemon where you capture little tiny animals and tiny balls, you are given a cassette player and a pair of headphones. And this allows you to transform into a beast. That beast then has attacks like most Pokemon do. You've got your just your random melee attacks, and then you've got different kind of stuff that you can raise and lower stats of the enemy or yourself. So you can do that. You can use the record function, which allows you to record the wild beasts, and you can record their form and their moves and how they are, which allows you to then add them to your pie. There's healing aspects where, and this is where it kind of tickled me a little bit. So they call the healing power that you can get as rewind, and it is a pencil, as if you were rewinding a cassette.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
And then there's a respool tool, which allows you to respool your cassette if you've completely run out of health. So that's the whole full restore style thing from Pokemon. So it leans on that genre very well. Everything you can imagine you can do in Pokemon, you can, and in those earlier Pokemon, you can do in Cassette Beasts. You run around a place called Harbour Town. The music is lovely to it. It's like a lo-fi kind of beat with a woman singing, which was nice to hear at first, but kind of overshadowed the sound, the effects in the game. So, which is the only reason why I turned it down, because I wanted to hear all the sounds. I came across the first Archangel, which was like your first big boss, which then alludes you to in the story that you've got to regenerate this Archangel's power, and she's going to kind of tell you the way to get yourself back home, back to your family, kind of thing. And that's where I left it. That's where I left the game. And literally started the next mission, and it was kind of time to start podcasting. So,
Well, that's so instead of like bringing out the beasts, you kind of transform into the beast after you record them.
Yeah. So basically, when you go into, as you do in Pokemon, when you meet people in the wild, that's people and beasts in the wild, your player kind of pops up with Kaylee, who's your partner, and both of you transform into the beasts that you've chosen to lead the party for you two. You
Gotcha.
can switch between beasts, so you transform into another one.
Is it turn-based like Pokemon?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And you have obviously there's HP and SP stats and stuff like that. So
Sure.
it is literally like a carbon copy of Pokemon, just with different with those few different aspects.
Sure.
And it's cloud based. It can be played on the cloud as well. So this is one of those games I feel I could, like, if I'm not taking the Switch to work to play Tears of the Kingdom, I could take the iPad and the controller, and I could quite happily play this via the cloud. So
Nice. May 30th, so just yesterday, Far World Pioneers dropped. Now, y'all know I've been pretty excited about this game. I put in an hour to it today, and I am a little disappointed. I think there's a good core game. Yeah, there's a good core game here, Sean. There really is. But the controls for this game are the controls to manage the UI are either broken or just really wonky, to the point to where, like, there were times where I was pushing all the buttons, like the left stick, the D-pad, the L, ZR, L. I was pushing them all, and I couldn't, like, select what I needed to select, and I had no idea why. Like, I just couldn't, like, it was like select a campfire, and I was like, I don't know why I can't move the cursor over to the campfire. Like, it just wouldn't move. And if there's a reason, I don't know what it is. And so either way, if I was screwing up, they're not telling me enough why I'm screwing up so that I can fix it, or it's just broken. I'm not certain which. Also, bummer, it's very much cursor PC style. Like, this game feels like it's a PC game that they tried to make into a console game and didn't do a great job with the controls to do that. A lot of times, so like if I want to go to something else, to a different selection, sometimes I'll have to, like, press the left stick and watch the controller or watch the cursor, like, go across the screen so that I can get to it. It's like, get rid of the cursor and just let me hit left, and then it goes to all the things over there, Yeah, the controls are hampering whatever good gameplay there is here. And I'm not talking about the gameplay because, to be honest, I didn't get far enough to know if it was good or bad. It was too difficult to even do stuff. So
that sucks, because you were excited for this with the mix between Terraria and Fallout Shelter. You were really excited for this. So that kind of sucks that it's not been done well enough for you to enjoy it.
Yeah. There seems to be a real problem here. This is a brand new day one game. This is day one on Game Pass. So, maybe I plan to come back to it after vacation. Maybe they'll do some updates and fix some stuff, and it'll be better. That's my hope, because I really do see a game here. You land on this planet. You got to kind of try to make yourself live. You can play with up to 32 people, by the way, online. I obviously was playing by myself. You get a little friend. You can boss him around and tell him to go do stuff for you. That's the gist of it. It's side-scrolling, so it's not 3D. It's not top-down. It's a very interesting kind of, as Sean said, Fallout Shelter / Terraria is really, is a great is the description of it. And yeah, it's a bummer that it wasn't done a bit better. But hopefully, and by bit, but I just mean the controls. Right now, that's all I'm talking about. I don't even have enough to talk about gameplay. Next game I played, Chicory: A Colorful Tale. Sean, this is a Finji game, the Tunic people. So yeah, I didn't realize that until I turned it on. I did not make it far into this game because I loved it. Ironically, because it was so good. There's a co-op mode, so you kind of show up. There's this person, I can't remember what their name is, but there's somebody in the world that colors it with color. I can't remember that person's name, and there's always a person that has the magic brush that's the colorer. And so Chicory is that person, and she's awesome. That's literally what the game says. But then all of a sudden, all the colors drained out of the world, and you find Chicory's brush, and you can't get into the room, and now you start coloring. And I mean, this all happens like within the first 10 minutes, so no real spoilers here. But I started to color, and I was having fun coloring stuff. But then, like, I get right outside the door, and they say, "Hey, if you have a friend, you can press a button and you can both color together." And I was like, "Oh, my daughter needs to play this game with me because it's cute and she can color while I'm doing the story." And so I'm very excited to play this with Ariel. It'll be a game we play together, probably start after we get back from vacation. So Yeah, but if you like that kind of stuff, kind of top downy, looks like it's gonna have a fun story while you're coloring this world. Finji, if you love Tunic, I'm not saying it's like Tunic, but if you love Tunic, you know that's a developer that's got a good pedigree for what they do. So
Oh,
yeah,
they definitely do. They
yeah.
definitely do.
So that is Chicory.
Brilliant. Do. So, Slayer's X Terminal Aftermath Vengeance of the Slayer. That is a mouthful of a game
Yeah.
to kind of talk through. So you got what it takes to be an X-Slayer. You've got 7 different weapons, Bloodglaw, Twisted Music by Seepage and Psycho Syndicate, and maps where you can blow up everything is the tagline that the game runs with. That kind of speaks volumes to me, apart from I have to go and look at the 2 artists for this song.
Yeah, I want you to play this, Sean. I really do. I mean, I don't know for how long, but I want you to play it and tell me if you love it or you hate it, because I don't think you're gonna fall in the middle. I just watched the trailer and I was like, but it's just not my game style. But maybe you'll love it, and then I would love to hear your opinion on it after you play it. Comes out tomorrow, by the way. We put this in the wrong category. That's on me. These are games coming out
this
next
is June
week.
1st.
Yeah, so literally tomorrow, but we say next week.
The next one, June 1st, is Car Mechanic Simulator. I'm assuming if this is going to run down the lines of Lawnmower Simulator and Power Wash Simulator, 2 of which I have done this week in real life. Roll up your sleeves and immerse yourself in a highly realistic garage environment of Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. Start as a fresh owner of a garage and work your way towards a service empire and get ready to get your hands dirty and work on 4,000 plus unique parts over 72 different cars. So I'm assuming this is just going to run the same. There's going to be issues with cars that you need to do. You're going to be able to pop the hoods on the cars, bonnet if you're in the UK. Get in there, take bits and pieces out, put bits and pieces in, and basically, like Power Wash Simulator, you're going to be guided into what kind of stuff you need to be doing. But yeah, I'm looking forward. I might give this one a go just to say that I have played it, because I played Lawnmower Sim, I did Power Wash Simulator, so why not continue the train and do Car Mechanic Simulator?
I completely agree with that. Definitely. You know what? It's probably better to do it. I don't know if that's true. Maybe it's better to do it in the game than in real life. I don't know. Can't answer that question.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I can get some practice.
There you go.
So.
There you go. Next, coming out tomorrow, big day, by the way. Three games coming out tomorrow. The Big Con. This is a showcase game from last year, so it made it. It said these games were coming out in 12 months. The Big Con barely squeezed it out. Hustle your way across the 90s America as a runaway teen con artist. Choose who to grift and how to make your scratch as you sneak around, don disguises, and pickpockets in this comedic crime adventure. Ride the radical 90s wave in all its plaid and payphone glory. There you go. It looked fun. I can say that much. I remember the showcase. I liked it. So I'll probably pick it up and see what it's like. By pick it up, I just mean download it onto my Xbox.
Well, yeah, that's what we do as game tasters.
That's what I am with Game Pass right now, for sure.
Sorry, so
I'm sorry, I was next. My bad. I screwed that up. My bad.
Cool, I'll roll with it.
All right.
I'm already talking. So
do it.
Amnesia: The Bunker. I played the first one of these, and what can I say is it was very weird. It took some getting into. It's very first person horror. There was a lot of jumping in back and forth with memories. But Amnesia: The Bunker is based on, again, it is a first person horror game set in a desolate World War I bunker. As you face oppressing terrors, stalk in the dark corridors, search for and use the tools and weapons at your disposal, keeping all the lights on at all costs. Overcome fear, persevere, and make your way out alive. Sounds a little like Five Nights at Freddy's, if you ask me. But yeah, it's the second in the series of the Amnesia games. The first one, you played a French woman that survived a plane crash, and you can kind of try to piece together your life prior to the crash and what happened in the crash. There there was an element of having to survive elements. You couldn't be out in the sunshine for too long. So if they're going to bring those kind of aspects into this game as well, being stuck in a World War One bunker, I'm assuming there's going to be a level of environmental or survival aspect in terms of food and warmth, and obviously overcoming the darkness, as well as the stuff that's going to be stalking around in the shadows. So I'd like to say I'm going to pick this one up, but based on my feels with the first one, this might be something I skip. But I might suggest it to Jaya because I can see her enjoying something like this.
I watched a bit of the trailer. It looked creepy as hell. That's all I gotta say about that. Rune Factory 4 coming out June 6th as well. The Amnesia, all these games coming out June 6th. I am excited for Xbox to be getting this game, or Game Pass getting this game. It's been out on Xbox One for a while. But if you like farming and you like dungeon crawling and you like exploration, this is a game for you. It literally mashes the three of those together. And it actually, I know you're like, there's no way that's a good mash. It actually works out pretty good. You farm stuff, you get money, you buy better weapons, you go out, you dungeon crawl, you fight a big guy, you come back, you do it all over again. That's pretty much it. And it's fun. I love it. So if you like those three things, check this out. You'll really like this, I believe. So, and if you like it a lot, you can go on the Switch and play Rune Factory 5. That came out last year. So there you
go. Cool. Let me switch screens again because I keep jumping back and forth. Next in our list is Stacking, which Nick talked about earlier, to do with Russian dolls from Tim Schafer's Double Fine Productions. So this is another Double Fine game that's coming out June 8th. Explore a vintage world inhabited by living Russian stacking dolls as you jump into more than 100 unique dolls and use their special abilities to solve a wide variety of puzzles and challenges. I'm intrigued by this game to the point where I might just try it because I like the whole Russian doll aspect. They don't really take much residence in our house, but my mother-in-law does have a Russian doll that the kids love quite a lot, and the fact that it's a puzzle game has got me quite intrigued. Plus, watching them move around in the environment could be quite hilarious to watch because I'd like to see how they animate Russian dolls moving.
Mm-hmm. And it's a Double Fine game, good pedigree. Probably be at least a decent game, I would imagine.
Yep.
For sure.
Not bad stock.
Yeah, exactly. Hypnospace. This is a 90s internet simulator in which you scour the wide variety of weird, wonderful websites to hunt down wrongdoers while also keeping an eye on your inbox, avoiding viruses and adware. It's life, basically. It's life if you have anything to do with computers, basically. Except I don't really hunt down wrongdoers. But I mean, the rest of it, trying to avoid adware and viruses and all that stuff, yeah, sounds like life. There you go. So there, those are the games coming next week, man. I feel like, Sean, they were like, well, we have these games and they all need to be out, so let's just puke them onto the system or puke them onto Game Pass now so we can get them out before the showcase.
Yeah, that was it. There's a big drop of games to cover the next 2 weeks, but it also gives them chance to kind of work on what is coming at the showcase and how things are going to come out afterwards and look. So they've bought themselves some time.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That is true. I'm gonna fly through games that have left. The games that are leaving May 31st: Europa Universalis, Evil Genius 2: World Domination, FIFA 21, Floppy Nights, and Lawn Mowing Sim. Who needs a lawn mowing sim when you can have a car sim coming out? I mean, seriously. June 15th, though, the new games: Bridge Constructor Portal, Chorus, Maneater. Actually, all three of those games are fairly good. Chorus is a really fun plane game. If you like plane games, play that first. Yeah. It's like a space plane game.
And Maneater is you swim around like a shark and eat things. So.
Mm-hmm. Mortal Shell. I played that game. I don't know what the hell that thing is, man. Best of luck to you. It's like a dark Soulsy type thing with a lot of other stuff involved in it that doesn't make any sense. I played it for like 45 minutes. I have no idea. Serious Sam, that's a top-down shooter, and Total War 3 Kingdoms are all leaving June 15th. So you got like literally the first list by the time you listen to this on podcast too late. But the second list, June 15th list, you got until the 15th to play it or buy it for 20% off. What's up with games
Yep.
with gold, Sean?
So games with gold, things that we've got a game leaving as of recording today. So which is Star Wars Racer. So if you haven't claimed that game already, tough luck. You've kind of missed the bus on that one. But that's going to get replaced with a game called Adios. So one choice can change everything. You're a pig farmer in Kansas who has finally had enough of your role helping the mob dispose of bodies on your farm. Your hitman friend tries to convince you to change your mind as the two of you go about the errands of the day. Those errands, I would dread to think what they are. He knows what to say. He knows that what saying no means. So this is a meditative, thoughtful game that reflects on morality and spirituality with compelling writing and phenomenal voice acting. Will this be good? Bye. So I believe this is one of those like a narrative style game where your reactions and feelings reflect how the game goes.
Do you
So
want
I've
to
never
shovel the
played
pig
it,
shit or
but
not?
it sounds very, very interesting. Play a pig farmer that disposes of bodies for the mob.
There you go.
And the other game, which comes mid-June to replace Hoa, which is currently there available until June 15th, is The Veil, Shadow of the Crown. You can close your eyes and listen. This is one of the most unique adventures you'll experience that leverages sound and haptic controller feedback in an audio-based adventure. Break down the barriers between you as a player and your character as you feel your enemy's breath. Listen to the crunching of footsteps or the clang of weapons. Combat is intense and very different from other combat and fantasy games. I never played this, but I think this was in this game came out in the infancy of controllers having multiple vibration feedbacks. So I'd like to see how this works with a headset and like the Elite 2 controller, which has various different haptic feedbacks now. And see how that goes.
Yeah, I was actually when I saw it, I was just interested or read about it. I was just interested to see if it does it still hold up or is it now just feel like any other game? You know what I mean? Like it's probably it was like groundbreaking for its time, but is it still groundbreaking or are you just like, "Oh yeah, okay, this is what we expect now." Also, they did mention no Xbox 360 games anymore. They're gone. They're done.
Did, yeah. We are fully into the Xbox One era of backlog games or back catalog games. So but The Veil, Shadow of the Crown runs from June 16th right through to the middle of July. So
there you go. All right. Any other games with gold before we move on to the dashboard?
No, let's see what we've been playing.
All right, the dashboard. Mine's pretty well. We talked about a bunch of games we had played up in the Game Pass headlines, so we already chatted about many of that. I'm still playing Mighty Doom, Sean. I'm at level like 68. I'm gonna miss it. I'm not gonna play it for a whole week. Probably gonna miss out on a season or something. Man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, it's gonna make me cry.
That app has now officially left my phone, so it's done.
Well, I just want to point out that I like Doom better than Sean does. That's all I'm saying. That's all I want to point out.
Yeah, you like handheld Doom better than Sean does.
Yeah, that's true. I do. I made the blood pink. I just want to say that's fun. So yeah, and I'm plodding my way along Tears of the Kingdom, still hoping for a trajectory to be done before Starfield in September. That's really my goal. That's my only goal. That's my only goal, Sean. Let's see if I can make that
happen. So I play cassette base, as I mentioned above. I'm going to put some more time to that via the cloud, because I think that's going to be the best place for me to play it, because anytime that I have to play games on the big screen at the moment, it's filled with Tears of the Kingdom. I like to say I've been plodding along with that game, but I am like so deep in that game. The level of things that I have done in that game is unreal. I haven't listened to the Dads After Dark's recent episode because I don't know what they have gotten themselves into in that game, and I don't kind of want to hear it. I'm not going to go into any great depths apart from the fact that I am currently, as it stands, could go into the castle and take on the Demon King and probably finish the game. But I have, as I was telling Nick at the start of this, I think I've got 3 shrine quests, I've got 4 side adventures, and 13 side quests that I currently have active, which I'm slowly making my way through. But it's one of those where like I squash a side adventure and 6 side quests pop up. So
yeah, no, I'm absolutely loving the game. It's a ton of fun. I just don't, I really want to spend more time, but I'm only getting like 30-40 minute chunks probably every other day or something like that at the moment to really like put into it. And I still like to do my Game Pass tasting. Well, a little bit of both, I guess. So yeah.
Have you rescued many of the Koroks? You know, the ones that like can't move because they've got this huge.
Oh yeah, I just did that today. I made this simple little car and I sent him to his friend. So yeah.
I like the fact that they respawn and that you can do many different wonderful things to them.
I have seen some Twitter things, yes, that have been actually some are fun and some are a little like disconcerting. Like I saw one get crucified. I was like really? Okay. All right, guys.
Yeah. No, that's intense. I use them as a test subject. To see, I have builds in mind, and it's like, okay, if I put Link in this build, I know it's either going to get me there or it's going to totally add to the bucket list of stuff that I've got for the Deads After Darks, Don't Waste to Die, which is an ever-growing list of stuff that I need to save to my phone and post. So I use them as a test subject for stuff like that. I have found ways of using big wheels and little wheels to make different devices. It's just crazy.
Actually,
go ahead. My current favorite is I like to use a big wheel and like 2 pieces of concrete, mount the big wheel high enough that I can get it to spin with 2 big flat pieces of concrete. Let that run for a while, then use recall to rewind it, pause it, and then put the Korok on top and
oh, it's so fun. Dude, I don't use recall enough. I don't use recall near enough. I forget about recall.
Yeah. So I haven't yet got stuck in any shrines. So like in the Discord, people are going, "Oh, I've spent an hour and a half trying to figure this shrine out." And all I can say is think of all the abilities. Like try and use them all at the same time if you can, which is possible. Just take some stacking.
So just today, I made one. I did not realize that there was a platform on these 2 like metal wires and that platform was movable. When I got to the other side, there were like 2 wheels and then I had this board, this like stone board. And so I was like, "Oh my gosh, I know what they want me to do. That's really hard." But what I did was put the wheels so that they were turning this way and put the board on top of the rail and it sent the board out and it worked just fine. But it wasn't until the board went that the platform kind of shook and I was like, oh, because I had to move the wheels multiple times to get them just the width of the rail. And it wasn't until like I got it just right and I scooted across that I was like, I could have you put one of these wheels on that thing and it would have just been done. Like, what if I just spent way too long?
You made a roller coaster. Because that's how I can think of it. Instead of the wheels on top of the rail, you've got them on the inside to stop any axial movement.
Yeah. And it didn't take so long, but it took probably 30 minutes and it would have taken like 5 just to be like, put a wheel on top and you would have been there. But I didn't realize that was like a movable platform. I just thought it was like one you could walk out onto. So yeah, it's a great game. I absolutely love it. I could talk hours, but I don't have time. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we could probably roll into a full Tears of the Kingdom spoiler cast. Yeah, it's just something we can't do. So
no, not right now.
Yeah, But anyway, there's nothing in the pie chat this week because Nick needs to go off and get some sleep because he's going on holiday tomorrow. So I'm going to drag us out the show. If you want to get in touch with us on any of our social accounts, you can do that. That's Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Everything is at Game Pass News. Send us an email. We like to read our emails. We mainly get stuff from people from Xbox now. You can do so by emailing us at gamepassnewscast@gmail.com. If you're listening to this via our podcasting app, thanks very much for listening. It's great. We love it. Please leave us a review. Leave us any feedback. That is awesome. If you want to jump in on the Discord, you can do. You can do that by subscribing to our Twitch channel. You can jump over to Red Bull, which is a merchant shop for all us tiny little podcasters. If you look for our shop, Game Pass News, you can buy all our stuff there. Please do. It's great. Thanks very much. Cheers to the live chat this evening, which is just Bruce being Bruce, Acid TKO free, and I'm just trying to see if Justin jumped in. He wasn't here this evening, but thanks very much, guys, for getting involved. And until next time, we shall see you later.
See you later, guys.